Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of pointless things, where we fly by his pointless statue in Booty Bay, because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is the burning area of Valiant's Keep in Borean Tundra, Northrend. And as you can see here, there are numerous Nerubian flame spitters that are just floating about and shooting these big balls of fire at Valiant's Keep. And so it says here that during the war against the Lich King, the keep was besieged from without and within by the forces of the Lich King. And while the walls were still being built, Scourge Nerubians came pouring out of the spider tunnels and attacking Valiant's Keep while they were building it, but they were able to finish the walls even while taking bombardments from the Nerubian flame spitters. And you could probably make the argument of like, Crendor, this isn't an actual building that's on fire, this is like the scaffolding they're using to build the buildings, but I don't care. Again, this is Pointless Top 10. If there's any list that can do this, it's this one. So I just wanted to include this because I think it looks really cool. You have all these flame spitters shooting their fire at Valiant's Keep, and then you have the dwarves up top trying to shoot them away. Even on the ground, you have a bunch of Alliance fighting all the various Nerubians and Scourge minions, and it's just a really cool scenario with a bunch of stuff on fire, so I decided to put it on the list, and that's why the Valiant's Keep fires are number 10. 9. Number 9 are the burning buildings located at the ruins of Auberdine in Darkshore. And Auberdine has been through it, man. Like, Auberdine got destroyed by Deathwing during the Cataclysm, and then during the Battle of Darkshore, the Horde also did some damage to it. But I will say, even though it's got a bunch of fire everywhere, and there's like some toxic ooze just laying around, it still has a very calming, peaceful nature to it. Like, and it's almost in an eerie way, you know what I mean? Like, you look here and you're like, man, remember back when Auberdine was built, not on fire and radiated? You can even see where a bunch of plants and flowers and grass have started overtaking the docks. And then there's this little encampment with a burning tent and a burning wagon, but I thought this burning tent looked really cool. I haven't really seen many tents that look like this in World of Warcraft, and so I thought it was a very unique model. It might be in some other places, but if it is, I haven't really seen it. Also, don't worry, I'm not including the burning night elf tree in this list, so either way, that's why the ruins of Auberdine are number 9. 8. Number 8 is the stuff burning at Camp Taurajo, and there's quite a bit burning at Camp Taurajo because during the Cataclysm, the town was assaulted by the Alliance and firebombed by Wildhammer mercenaries, and in order to secure their offensive against the Horde, the Alliance expanded from Northwatch Hold under false information that the Tauren were planning to attack them and raised Camp Taurajo in a massacre. And so I decided to include this one for a few reasons, one of which is I always loved Camp Taurajo. It was one of my favorite little towns. I remember, you know, questing in the Barrens and running down the Gold Road, and I'm like, dude, I made it to Camp Taurajo, right? And it was just really cool. And then now to see it like this, it's just, it makes me hate the Alliance, to be honest. But I do think it is a really unique situation. Like, you have burning totems here, which I don't think you really see anywhere else in the game. You have like these burning fences. There's like some burning banners and stuff like that. But I think the burning totem poles are really just a unique thing in World of Warcraft that I really don't think happens anywhere else. And so for all those reasons, that's why Camp Taurajo is number 8. 7. Number 7 are the burning tents and buildings located at Vale Akraz in the Spires of Arak. And so the lore behind this one's actually pretty sad. So we have the adherents of Rukmar, which were the winged followers of the sun god Rukmar, who feared and hated the Arakoa that bore the curse of the Seth. And the curse of the Seth is an ancient curse that causes the Arakoa to become wretched and flightless, which cuts them off from the light of their sun goddess Rukmar. And so if you're somebody that never really played Warlords of Draenor, but you did play Burning Crusade, most of the Arakoa in the Burning Crusade are afflicted with the curse of Seth. And so the adherents of Rukmar were living up in the city of Skyreach, and they used salvaged Apexis technology to fire beams of light down on various Arakoa outcasts, and many of them lived here at Vale Akraz, which is why it got hit by the Breath of Rukmar, which is the large Apexis solar beam. So you can even see in the ground where the beam hit and kind of carved its way through this entire area, and it's really sad, right? It's just this big civil war that the Arakoa had amongst themselves, and now there's just this war-torn, scorched village that's here forever, just burning, and so that's why I put it at number 7. 6. Number 6 are the burning buildings located at the East Wind and West Wind Rests in Kunlai Summit in Mist of Pandaria. And these two villages were burned by the Batari Yongal tribe. And so there is a quest chain that involves you killing your Batar, who is the Yongal leader, and it says the Yongal have always been a difficult, proud people, but never this violent or aggressive. I do not know what has prompted this change in their behavior, but we don't have time to find out. Now we fear for our lives and livelihoods as long as your Batar, the leader of the Batar Yongal, lives. Go set the banner in his camp ablaze and challenge him, and then defeat him in battle. Only then will we be secure. And so you do that, you defeat Urbatar, and then you join up with the Pandaren villagers and put out the fires and rebuild the town into either West Wind Rest, which is the Alliance outpost, or East Wind Rest, which is the Horde outpost. But this is just another sad situation, just like the Arakoa one we just had, but it's even kind of crazier because you see these burned, charred Pandaren on the ground, and they have like actual steam or smoke coming off of them, which it's pretty messed up. So anyway, that's why the East Wind and West Wind outposts are number 6. 5. Number 5 is this troll hut burning in the Charred Vale in the Stone Talon Mountains. And this one I really wanted to put on the list because unlike some of the others that we've covered that are very lore heavy, this one's just kind of random, which leaves it open for interpretation. And so it says here that the Charred Vale had been getting better because of the druids at Sunrock Retreat helping to regrow everything, but then after the cataclysm, a nearby dormant volcano erupted and all of the lava destroyed half the area and opened a path into the Veiled Sea. And so it's just really unfortunate for whoever lived here that their hut just burned down. So maybe it was a troll that was a fisherman, or maybe they worked on boats or something. Maybe they were even part of the effort to restore the Charred Vale like the druids were. But yeah, now this place is just burned up. It's on fire. Seldaria, the black dragon, is here, and she's currently being protected by circling black drakes. And like Onyxia, she is the broodmother of many black dragon whelps, which you can also see in various spots all over the area. But yeah, I just thought this was a really unique burning building, right? You don't really see many burning buildings that are just out in the middle of nowhere in World of Warcraft, so I wanted to put it on the list. So that's why the Stone Talon Troll Hut is number 5. 4. Number 4, the burning buildings at Brenadam in Stormsong Valley. And so Brenadam was a large Kulturan town and the regional capital of Stormsong Valley. And so the Horde were like, yo, we should go attack this place. And so there's actually this crazy cutscene where all the Alliance are just walking around, chilling, doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, they're just like, what's that? And they're like, oh my God, it's the Horde. And then the Horde start dropping bombs on them and attacking the town. And then it just becomes a full-blown war front. And so, yeah, this is just another situation where there's a lot of buildings on fire because there's a war going on, which who would have guessed that there's war in the World of Warcraft? But yeah, you can go around the town and see there's goblins with flamethrowers, there's wyverns flying around, dropping more bombs on the town. And I think the craziest part, to be honest, is there's actually people on fire running around. There's so many people that were like, WoW's getting soft and all this stuff. But while that might be true for some of the more modern expansions, Battle for Azeroth had some of the most insane shit that I've ever seen in World of Warcraft. I'm telling you right now. In fact, I covered some of them in Pointless Top 10s. But with all that being said, and as bad as this situation is, I do think the fires and all the stuff going on actually looks pretty cool in Stormsong Valley nighttime. Like, I think the glow of the fire contrasting with the night sky of Stormsong Valley actually looks pretty cool. But either way, that's why the Brenadam burning buildings are number 4. 3. Number 3 is the Heathrow Manor, and the Heathrow Manor is a building located in Bradensbrook, which is a Gilnean village located in Valshara. And it says here that Heathrow Manor is actually the mayor's house, and it's located up on a hill southwest of the town, and it's on fire, most likely due to the undead incursion. But this one's pretty interesting because a lot of these are burning on the outside, but this one's actually burning on the inside. So if you go into the house, pretty much everything is on fire. Everything's burning up. And if you go upstairs, you can actually find Grumpy the dog. And if you click on Grumpy, it says, the puppy wags its tail furiously as soon as he spots you. He seems extremely grateful. And so when you complete the quest, you get Grumpy's Leash, which teaches you how to summon Grumpy. And so unlike many of the other things on the list where it's kind of sad and depressing, this one actually has a good ending where we find the scared dog and we save him and now he's a pet. And so if you haven't done that on your account, you should go save Grumpy because he's stuck in the burning building. What are you doing? Go save him. Either way, that's why Heathrow Manor is number 3. 2. Number 2 are the buildings on fire at the Firebeard's Patrol in the Twilight Highlands. And so it says here that when the Twilight's Hammer launched surprise attacks all over the Highlands, Firebeard's Patrol was one of the hardest hit Wildhammer settlements. And so Keegan Firebeard led the defense of the town, and despite Keegan saying no matter what happened to their home, they would keep fighting even if all that was left were ruins, he preferred that not be the case, so he sent people to go and put the fires out. So you can actually see There are these dwarves getting buckets of water and going and running and throwing them onto the fires, which I actually brought up in Pointless Top 10 water wells. In fact, I wish I had all of these dwarves to help me when I was doing the Hollow's End event where you had to put out the fires, and it was like me and one other guy because nobody else was doing it. But yeah, I wanted to put this one higher up on the list because I do think it's pretty cool that you actually see these dwarves trying to fight off these fire elementals and their whole town is burning down, but they're actually doing something about it, right? Like they're going and they're getting these buckets of water and they're running and they're trying to put these fires out. And even though it's a shitty situation, I think it's cool to actually see them being proactive to save their town. And so I just thought that was neat. And so that's why I decided to put it at number 2. And number 1 is Stratholme. And it's really impressive that Stratholme has been burning since Warcraft 3. And when I thought of that, I was like, dude, this has to be number 1, right? Like, not only is it one of the most well-known cities that's on fire, but it's just been burning for the entirety of World of Warcraft's history. And I've actually been playing through the entirety of the Warcraft 3 campaign again over at my stream at twitch.tv/Crendor, shameless plug, or I put them on my VOD channel, Crendor VODs. But it was interesting playing through that campaign again and doing the culling of Stratholme and hunting down Mal'Ganis and watching Arthas lose his mind. And so that also made me want to put this at number 1 on the list because that's all kind of fresh in my memory right now. But like I said, there's so many reasons to have this at number 1. It's just been burning forever. It's the longest lasting fire probably in World of Warcraft's history. It's a dungeon that pretty much everybody has ran at some point, and it has some of the best World of Warcraft lore tied to it. And so for all those reasons, that's why I had to put it at number 1. And so that's why Stratholme is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more top 10s that are still in a fire mood, you go watch barbecues, or if you really want to waste some time, I just uploaded a 3-hour compilation of weird and unusual Pointless Top 10s. Also, like the video and comment below if you want. Or don't, it's up to you, I'm not your boss. Okay? Okay. See ya.